Kamala Harris has been making headlines, not just for her role as vice president, but for her frequent flip-flops on key issues. From healthcare to immigration and even criminal justice reform, Harris's shifting positions have left many wondering, is she adapting to the political climate or simply lacking a clear vision? Let's dive into the policies she's changed her stance on and what it means for her credibility. Immigration. Harris's stance on immigration has been a significant point of contention. As vice president, she was appointed to oversee diplomatic efforts related to the U.S. southern border. Initially, she supported a more humanitarian approach, focusing on the root causes of migration. However, Harris later faced criticism for her tough rhetoric, particularly when she told potential migrants, "Do not come," during a visit to Guatemala. More recently, she has supported policies that align with stricter border enforcement, which contrasts sharply with her earlier views. This shift has led to accusations that she is prioritizing political expediency over consistent principles. Healthcare. During her 2020 presidential campaign, Harris was a vocal supporter of Medicare for All, which would have effectively eliminated the private insurance market. She co-sponsored legislation with Senator Bernie Sanders to this effect and advocated for a single-payer system. However, as the campaign progressed and she faced pushback, Harris began to modify her stance. She eventually supported a plan that would allow private insurance to coexist with a government-run option, a significant departure from her earlier position. This change has been seen as an attempt to appeal to a broader electorate, but it has also drawn criticism for appearing inconsistent. Criminal justice. Harris's record on criminal justice is perhaps the most complex and controversial. As a prosecutor in California, she cultivated a reputation as a progressive prosecutor, focusing on reforms such as the re-entry program back on track for first-time nonviolent offenders. However, she also supported tough-on-crime policies that contributed to mass incarceration, including the defense of the death penalty in some cases. During her 2020 presidential bid, Harris tried to reposition herself to the left of Joe Biden on criminal justice issues, advocating for reforms such as ending solitary confinement and eliminating mandatory minimum sentences. Despite these efforts, her record continues to be scrutinized, with critics pointing out discrepancies between her past actions and current rhetoric. Harris has also shifted her position on environmental issues, particularly regarding fracking. During her presidential run, she expressed strong opposition to fracking, advocating for a ban. However, as vice president, she has walked back this position, aligning more closely with the Biden administration's stance, which does not seek to ban fracking outright. This reversal has drawn criticism from environmental advocates who see it as a betrayal of her earlier promises. Harris initially supported a mandatory buyback program for assault weapons, a policy she advocated for during her 2020 presidential campaign. However, she has since softened her stance, indicating that she no longer supports a mandatory buyback and instead favors voluntary measures. This change has been viewed by some as a concession to moderate voters, but it has also alienated some of her progressive supporters who are looking for stronger gun control measures. Another notable shift in Harris's policy positions is her stance on Supreme Court expansion. In 2019, she was open to the idea of expanding the Supreme Court to address what many Democrats saw as an imbalance caused by President Trump's appointments. However, more recently, she has stated that she does not support expanding the court, aligning with President Biden's position. This reversal has been criticized as a move away from more progressive ideas that she once entertained. These changes in stance on various policies have led to widespread accusations of flip-flopping, raising questions about Harris's consistency and the authenticity of her policy commitments. Her supporters argue that these shifts demonstrate her ability to adapt to the evolving political landscape, while critics see them as evidence of a lack of core convictions. Well, we reached the end. If you learned anything watching this video, or found it interesting and love to see more videos like this, please like and comment. And if you are not subscribed yet, please do so. See you in the next one.